right, we are live, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Show. On the panel tonight, we have Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
It doesn't matter how I am tonight, right?
That's good. It doesn't matter who was on SmackDown either, but we'll get into that. Next, we have Kingpin. How are you tonight?
What's up, boys?
So, Kingpin, did you get a chance to watch that MJF promo?
Yeah, I watched. I watched all the basic highlights from Wednesday, and then same thing with SmackDown just before I came on here. First, before we get into the MJF one, what about the Chris Jericho Sammy Guevara set?
Yeah, they're saying that they're going to be wrestling next week, and then saw today where the two of them are supposed to be challenging FTR at the Seattle pay per view on
Yeah,
October 1st.
they're setting it up. They're setting it up like the mentor and the student finally
Yeah.
have to fight so the student can become beyond the mentor. And then Sammy said he's gonna whip Chris Jericho's ass, and then they're gonna go become tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the whole thing was good, even the like mushy part at the beginning where they were all hugging and kissing and stuff.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I'm super excited about the two of them taking on FTR though. I just don't buy those two as a tag team. They're more two single stars being thrown together WWE style to be a tag team. You know where I'm going? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They just
it's
don't have the feel of being an actual tag team.
it still kind of feels like they're setting it up for them to not be friends, like them
Yeah,
to
that too.
terminate each other as a tag team.
Yeah, another match that apparently was announced is also going to be Daddy Ass and the Acclaim defending the Trios tag team titles against the Dark Order. Again, another match that I really don't care about.
Yeah, let's
Or,
start talking about MJF again. That dude, I know we like LA Knight because he's a phenomenon or whatever right now, and he's all that.
Mhm.
But MJF might be he's clearly right now the best wrestler, entertainer, period. There's just nobody on his level.
Mhm.
Uh, if he keeps acting like this, he might be the best ever. They had signs last Wednesday. They had signs in the stadium of "You're our scumbag."
Oh, they've been having those for weeks. That's been going on for weeks. That goes back to before the match between him and Michael Cole. This is something that MJF has been doing, and people have been holding the signs up for the past few weeks now with that on it. It's crazy.
He's in a position where he can come out and be like, "Yeah, Denver, Colorado, you're the greatest," and they love him. Or he can come out and say, "Denver, Colorado, you guys are all crackheads," and they love him.
Yeah, I mean, it's blurring. He's blurring the line between the delusional heel who thinks he's a babyface and actually someone who is a babyface who just acts like a heel. It's hard to know which one exactly they're playing with him because he's playing the roles so well. You don't know which way it's going. You don't know if he's going to eventually be the one to become heel or Adam Cole is, because eventually one of them is going to turn on the other. We just don't know which one.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the things that's kind of special about MJF is the people don't even care if he wrestles. Like if he just cut promos all the time, they would be fine with that. I mean, I'm sure a couple times a year they want to see him in the ring, but not like Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes in every once in a while and talks and talks and talks, and then only wrestles on the big shows. And the fans see that and they don't really appreciate that. But I think MJF could just come out and talk whenever he wanted to, and everybody be like, "That's cool."
But man, that promo on Wednesday, the part where he starts doing the math part, that was a Scott Steiner promo that he gave back in TNA when him and Joe were feuding over the TNA title. Now MJF cuts the exact same promo on Joe for the AEW title. I about fell out of my chair or off the couch or whatever laughing when he started the Steiner math promo. That was just hilarious. And he quoted it perfectly too, is the best part. The only thing he could do was start trying to disguise his voice like Scott Steiner.
I like when he said, when he said to Samoa Joe, he said your big, thick, fat, stupid skull. That was funny, man.
Yeah. Krabby's out there in the chat, Krabby.
What's going on, Krabby?
I remember when Scott Steiner cut that promo the first time, and like I said, MJF did it verbatim. It was just hilarious. The only thing he didn't have was the chalkboard like Scott Steiner had when he was doing it. But then MJF was supposed to be in the trainer's room getting his neck examined from what happened 2 weeks ago. At the time he was cutting the promo. Whereas when Scott Steiner did it, he was standing there with his little lackey next to him and a chalkboard pointing to the numbers and stuff on the chalkboard. Verbally, right on par. I mean, he just nailed that. And the way he did it, I don't think he was reading it. You know how you can tell if somebody's reading or if somebody had memorized something? I think he had that memorized. He's really good at reading off a prompter.
Are you talking about MJF still, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as the prompter type of guy. Now he may practice, he may have a script that he's memorized, but he doesn't come across as the teleprompter type of guy.
Yeah. Well, obviously in the ring he's not going to have a prompter, but backstage he could have had a prompter sitting there, and he could just be one of those people that's really good off of reading a prompter. I don't know, but man, if he memorized that whole thing, that had to have taken some work to get memorized. And because it wasn't backstage, he may have flubbed it at one point and they just went and redid it again too. Because remember, his part wasn't live, that was pre-recorded.
Going back to what we talked about with the Wembley Stadium thing, and WWE better be paying attention. It's not even fair, in my opinion, to compare WWE and AEW. It's like watching the news versus watching the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you just can't. You wouldn't compare the two, except for they're both television shows. The promos on AEW are rather short and rather effective, and always usually pretty good. And then they've always got banger matches on regular television. Like they do tons of TV shows with title fights and good live matches and all that. And WWE is still kind of like the Jerry Springer type of entertainment type of show. Like you want to go to the circus, let's go watch WWE.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, do we want to talk about the PWI 500 for this year?
You and Jason want to talk about computers? Go ahead.
No, this isn't computers. This is Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what that was. I didn't even know what that meant. But I mean, if you want to, we can talk about that. Actually, before we talk about that, let me just, since Krabby's out there, I know I touched on it a little bit, I think the last show, but I'm gonna Congratulations, Becky Lynch, on being a Grand Slam champion and winning the NXT Women's title. Tip of the hat to her. She's probably, in my opinion, the most influential female wrestler that you could ask for. She makes good talent, excellent talent, and she did that with Zoe Stark. I mean, I think it was, at least from my eyes, watching Zoe in NXT and then watching her against Becky, completely changed her wrestling style and her talent level. I think the feud that, if they set it up, the feud with Tiffany and Becky is going to make Tiffany a whole lot better. So, congratulations to Becky, and you know, I think she does a good job for the women's division. So there's that.
I know we were texting earlier, going over to the PWI thing. So Kingpin knows who the top three are. I don't think I texted Jason on that. But number 10, who do you guys think comes in at number 10 on the Pro Wrestling Illustrated top 500?
Top 500, what, of this year, of all time, or
Yeah,
what?
this year.
What do you think, Jason? Got any guesses?
For any wrestler division,
Yeah.
or is this just WWE?
No, this is all the promotions all over the world.
Number 10, CM Punk.
Nope. Kingpin, what do you think?
Krabby, if you're still out there, make sure you type in your guess as well. Who is number 10 of this year?
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory.
Nope, not Austin Theory. What do you think, Krabby?
Oh, waiting to see if Krabby types up.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a bunch of... Go
He
ahead.
said he's not going to make any guesses.
Okay, right on. Okay, so are we talking... You've already looked at this list. How many Japanese people are on there that we don't know who they are?
There's one Japanese person, and you know who they are.
Okay, cool. So now you can tell us who number 10 is.
Number 10 is he of the silly neck tattoo.
You're kidding.
Nope. Cody Rhodes at number 10. Number 9 is somebody you two probably don't know. It's Josh Alexander from Impact. He is a former Impact World Heavyweight Champion. So now we're at number 8. You guys want to take a guess on who number 8 is?
Kenny Omega.
Nope. Right promotion, wrong guy.
All right. Now, when you say right promotion, are you talking AEW or New Japan?
AEW.
Okay. I want to say Daniel Bryan, but I think he should be higher on the list.
Nope, not Daniel Bryan. He's not even in the top 10.
What?
Yep. Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson is not in the top 10.
Right. That's a crime. We're talking about this year?
This year.
I guess they didn't see the match against MJF and the 100 matches that he wrestled before that.
Well, hell, the strap match against Ricky Starks.
Yeah, really.
I'll give you a hint. It's one of Jason's favorite wrestlers.
Oh, Orange.
Orange Cassidy, number 8. Number 7 is the guy from New Japan that you both should know.
Oh, that's my boy. The new young guy looks just like him. He was fighting with Kenny Omega. What's the guy's name? Ospreay.
No, it's not. It's not Kota Ibushi.
No, Ospreay.
Oh, Osprey. No, it's not Osprey. Osprey's not Japanese.
I thought he was. I thought you said New Japan.
Yeah, I meant to say the Japanese guy from New Japan that you would know.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Is it that old dude that's like lets everybody slap him in the chest?
You talking about the oh shit
With the weird haircut?
Tomohiro Ishii? Is that who you're talking about?
Sure.
No. Kazuchika Okada is at number 7.
I think I've heard you say the name Okada before.
You've seen him wrestle.
Right on.
They all
Yeah,
look
he's
the
been,
same to us, Rich.
yeah. And number 6, just missing the top 5. You want to take a guess? I'll give you a hint. AEW again.
All right, let's think about this. This year,
Hey,
Adam,
Ashley.
what's up, Ashley? Adam Cole,
No, but you're really close.
Adam Page,
No, now you're getting colder.
Cole Page.
MJF.
MJF, number 6.
What?
Yep. When you hear the top 5, you'll know why.
Right on. Okay, I see.
Number 5, El Hijo del Vikingo, the one guy that has the one Mexican title that wrestles on AEW sometimes, is at number 5. Number
That dude,
4 is
hold up, bro. That dude El Kingo, the Viking. I call him the Viking.
well, that's what
Because
his name means. The son of the Viking in Spanish.
yeah, he's good, man, and he's
Mm-hmm.
strong as 10 guys. He's actually pretty good. They should mix him up in some regular television shows a little bit more often.
Now, number 4 is a WWE star. You want to take a guess?
Roman.
Nope.
Sami Zayn.
No. I'll give you guys a hint. He likes to chop people a lot.
Oh, Hunter.
Yep. Gunther is at number 4.
I know the top 3, so.
Yeah. Number 3, we go back to one of Kingpin's favorite wrestlers from AEW. Any guesses, Jason? Kingpin already knows the answer.
I'll give you a better hint. He's who I would consider my favorite wrestler right now.
Oh. L.A. Knight. Yeah.
No, he's from AEW.
I said AEW, man.
I don't know.
If you need a screwdriver, he's probably got one in his pocket.
Oh, Moxley.
Yep, Moxley at number 3. The top 2 are both WWE. Who do you think's at number 2, Jason?
Roman.
Roman's at number 2, and who's number 1?
And from WWE?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, is it going to be John Cena?
Nope.
This answer is like really, really obvious. Like the big star in WWE right now.
Yeah. Krabby says Lesnar. Nope, not Lesnar.
The people sure do love to sing his song.
Oh, yes, they do.
Is it Seth?
Seth freaking Rollins is at number 1.
No freaking way.
Yep, that's who it is. The top 3 are the Shield.
Who made this list, Rich?
Pro Wrestling Illustrated. They're a wrestling magazine that's been around forever.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Well, I bet some little fucking funk kids the one that wrote the article.
The Pro Wrestling Illustrated's been around forever.
You think they're gonna give Shinsuke the title? You think they're gonna have him take it from Seth?
I can see reasons for them to do so and then have Seth get it back not long after. So I believe if they do it, that would make Shinsuke a Grand Slam champion, and it would also make him the first recognized Japanese star to have won the WWE title.
The people seem to like him a lot too. They like his music,
Mm-hmm.
and they like his style. And even though he's turned to kind of be the bad guy now, they're still the crowd seems excited about him being the bad guy against
Yeah.
him.
I'm waiting to see if they do like he did the last time he turned heel, and they took his music and used that as the background for this Japanese rap singer to do his theme music, and it was pretty good too. Because people were always singing his song when he was a heel, so he come out with the music starting when he turned heel years ago on AJ, and people they said they were so one day he comes out and his music starts playing, and he comes out and says and they start playing his new music, and people were booing because it wasn't as easy to sing to, but it still had the same underlying music to it. It just had rap lyrics over top of it and electric guitar to it. It was still a pretty good entrance music for Shinsuke. So I'm waiting to see if they go back to that again now that he's turned heel again. I would tell you what some of the other in the top 500 are, but I don't have a subscription to the magazine. All anybody's printing is like the top 10. Yeah, I don't know if I would have had Cody at top number 10, but it's not my list. No.
Cody still seems rather forced.
Mm-hmm. The two, the only issues I have are Cody and Josh Alexander. Not that Josh Alexander isn't a really good wrestler. It's just for a large chunk of 2023, he's been on the injured list, which is why he's not the Impact World Champion right now. He had to surrender the belt due to injury. So that's my problem with him being on the list. But Josh Alexander is. Remember how Kurt Angle was when Kurt Angle first debuted way back in the late 90s? Josh Alexander is very reminiscent of Kurt Angle. Really, really good technical wrestler. The only one that I could see not really deserving to be in the top 10 is Cody. Again, to take away Josh Alexander's injury issue. But with him having that injury issue, he probably shouldn't be in the top 10 either. But Cody definitely is the one that I look at on this list and like, I don't see Cody as a top 10.
Maybe I'm going to go a little bit too fanboy here, but how is MJF not even, how is he not just exempt from this whole list? If Seth Rollins was in the middle of the ring anywhere on planet Earth and the people were singing his song and then MJF came out, it's all over for Seth Rollins. He just lost the crowd right then and there. LA Knight, LA Knight would, I don't know if LA Knight and MJF in a ring together, a stadium could contain that. That'd be nuts. But I don't know. The popularity level of MJF just seems like it would outdo Seth Rollins.
Here's how I see it, right? You take any member of that top 6 and you flip them with another member of the top 6, and the list still makes sense. The top 6 is just that close together. Hell, you could say 7 with Okada too, if you follow the Japanese wrestling. those top 7 guys, you could invert that order in any way you want, and it would still make sense for those guys, especially when we're talking top 7 out of 500, a list of 500 different wrestlers across the different promotions. Cody doesn't belong on that list. Not that high, at the very least. Top 20, maybe. Top 10, no.
Yeah, if I don't know what the rules and regulations are, but if we're just talking about fan popularity, quality of wrestling, quality of promo, like your performance over the last year, I'd put Cody around like number 20.
Okay. Keeping in mind that LA Knight's popularity and his push just started, so I don't think we could add him at number 10. So we'll just set him off to the side. Can't pick LA Knight for that reason. Okay? Out of all the other guys, who would you replace Cody with at the number 10 spot?
I mean, how many names can I give you?
Just one guy. Give me the one guy that you would put at number 10 over Cody Rhodes.
Go ahead, Jason.
Anybody, like he was just saying, man. Over Cody Rhodes. Shit. I'd fucking pick Dominic Mysterio over Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Oh God, no! I would not put Cody. I would not put Dominic at number 10. No, you gotta. We're replacing Cody Rhodes at number 10, Jason.
No, that's legitimate. I think that's legitimate because if you think about it, who gets more crowd interaction than Dominic Mysterio right now?
Yeah, but he's still not all that good in the ring.
He's not all that good in the ring. That's true. And you don't really get to hear what he's saying.
Yeah, you don't get to hear what he's saying.
As far as the entertainment level, everyone in that stadium is booing anytime he's on camera or starting to move his mouth. And the wrestlers are laughing about it in the ring. Like it's almost, I think it's out of control already. I don't know how they're going to stop it unless he like comes in and saves Rey Mysterio from getting jumped or something like that. But yeah,
I loved on Monday how during the Judgment Day's promo that now they got the rest of the Judgment Day getting pissed off because of the booing.
yeah. But I mean, I think Dominic Mysterio is a legitimate replacement at number 10 for just this year of entertainment value. Yeah.
Okay. See, I was going to pick for number 10 a guy you mentioned earlier, Kingpin.
Cole.
Danielson.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bryan Danielson for sure.
Yeah. How he's not in the top 10 is beyond me. In fact, I would slot Danielson at number 9, move Alexander down at least one.
Danielson's been slapped enough lately, Rich. Belt slapped.
That dude does take a beating, man. What's up, Tactical Fud? How you doing, Buck?
Hey, Buck. Buck says we're picking on Cody because of his neck growth.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw Adam Cole on there. You could throw Claudio Castagnoli on there.
Oh yeah,
Chris Jericho. There's a whole bunch of people that you could probably even put. You could probably even put Saraya above.
She's only had 2 matches.
The crowd loves that girl. The crowd loves her, man. What am I gonna do? The crowd likes her.
I'll give you a top 20 for Saraya, but I don't know if I'm ready to put her in the top 10 just yet.
No, I wouldn't put her in the top 10, no, but I'd put her anywhere over Cody Rhodes. And if Cody Rhodes is number 2, then she's number 1.
I'd put Pat McAfee over Cody Rhodes.
Oh, don't even get me started on McAfee.
Over Cody Rhodes, yeah, totally. Pat McAfee
hasn't had a match all year.
But he's been involved in a bunch of viral stuff. Last night didn't hurt, even though you didn't like it. It didn't hurt. The crowd was totally nuts. McAfee was higher than hell. So as far as crowd interaction and big events, I mean, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar sucked the whole way through. Cody Rhodes versus Roman was slightly okay for a little while. But yeah, I think. Oh, I'm not talking in the 10 spot for Pat McAfee. I'm just talking
No,
anywhere.
I'm saying I don't know if I would put Pat McAfee on the 500 top wrestlers at this point because he hasn't wrestled in a couple of years now. He's not so much a wrestler as he is just a personality that's on the wrestling program.
It's been a minute, but I'd have to say Cody. The last good match I seen Cody in is when he tore his chest muscle and he went against Seth. Is that who he went against? Seth Rollins.
Yeah, in Hell in a
and
Cell.
they were strapped together.
No, there was Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, but they did get a point where they strapped themselves together, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think you're
right.
right.
Cody pulled the strap out from under the ring, and
they used all kinds of shit in that match. But anyways, that was the last good match Cody had, in my opinion. Like Kingpin said, against Lesnar sucked, against Roman Reigns sucked. Just get tired of hearing him talking. His promos have sucked. So, like I said, me and Kingpin will pick anybody at number 10 over Cody Rhodes. And I'm like him. I would have Cody Rhodes at like 25 or something.
And I do get where Rich is coming from as a stipulation. So I can remove Pat McAfee for these reasons and Saraya because they haven't been in the ring enough wrestling. So I do understand where you're coming from.
Let's see if I can find a list that has some more of the top 500 on it. So give me a minute. I'm just curious who would be in the top.
Who would be 11,
from like 11 to 20?
If we just took Cody out, yeah. If he was found ineligible.
Ineligible because he sucks.
Okay, 11 is another guy over in New Japan, Sonata, who is the current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Samoa Joe.
Hold on, I got the whole list here. So, number 12 is a guy that you mentioned, Kingpin, Claudio Castagnoli. Number 13 is an interesting one. Somebody from NXT. You want to take a guess on that one, Kingpin?
Braun Breaker.
No, not Braun.
Wesley.
Nope.
I mean,
Come on, you can guess him. I mean, come on.
Oh, Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo. I knew if I said guess him, it would be a giveaway.
I needed a giveaway because I'd list the entire roster on NXT. NXT is awesome.
Yeah, Mello is at number 13. Then your boy Samoa Joe at 14. Masha Slamovich, who is this monster heel in women's wrestling on Impact. She could give Rhea Ripley a run for her money. Then number 16 is the aforementioned Bryan Danielson. Number 17 is Will Ospreay. Number 18 is somebody I don't even know who they are. Alexander Hammerstone. I'm not sure who that is. Number 19 is Bobby Lashley. And then at number 20 is Trey Miguel. He's kind of like a Rey Mysterio kind of guy, but younger. He's in Impact. Back to back, we have at 21 Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at 22. 23 is Jake Lee, who I'm not sure who that is. 24 is Chris Jericho. 25 is Kenny Omega. 26 is Drew McIntyre. 27 is Hiromu Takahashi, who's a really good light heavyweight over in Japan.
Takahashi.
28 is Hangman. 29 is Kato Kiyomiya, who is a Japanese guy, obviously. Doesn't wrestle in New Japan, so I'm not sure where he wrestles. Gran Guerrero, who is a wrestler in Mexico. I think he's AAA. No, he's CMLL. Is at number 30. 31 is.
That's good enough. They don't.
Oh, hold on. No.
How many are you gonna read all 500?
No, I'm not going to read off all 500. I was probably just going to do the top 50.
Okay.
31 is Matt Cardona. His wife is Chelsea Green. So, I don't know if he should be higher on the list just because he's married to Chelsea Green or not. 32, Jay White. 33 is Shun Skywalker, who I have no idea who that is. 34, Alex Kane, another one, I'm not sure who that is. 35 is Keno, I'm not sure who that is either. 36 is Zack Sabre Jr., who Danielson will be wrestling at the October joint show on October 1st. It is October 1st, right? That show with AEW and New Japan.
Oh man, I don't know.
I think it is. Anyway, 37, Braun Breaker. 38, Solo Sikoa. 39, Mike Bailey, who's really good. He's an Impact. 40 is Kenta. 41 is Steve Macklin, who was also in Impact. 42 is Hiroshi Tanahashi, who's a really good wrestler. Well, not really. He used to be. 43, making it into the top 10, is Ricky Stark. Top 50 is Ricky Starks. A young guy making the list at that level, at that number. 41 is Yuji Nagata, which is interesting considering the guy is plus 50 years old. He's a New Japan guy. At 45, we have Austin Theory. 46 is Mystico, the former Sin Cara from WWE. 47 is a guy that hasn't been on TV in a little while now, Wardlow. 48 is Alex Shelley, who is the current Impact World Heavyweight Champion. 49 is Darby Allin. And 50 is Edge. And just missing the top 50 is Sammy Guevara at 51.
Good old Sammy, 51.
And that's your top 50. There's some good names between 50 and 60 as well. Not all of them, but there are some good names in that list too. Your boy Wes Lee's on the list at 66.
That's what I'm saying. Dragunov, Wesley, Dijak, Braun Breaker, Von Wagner, the Creed brothers, that weird champion, the French weird guy with the cup. I can't remember what his name is now. I mean, any dude on NXT's roster better than Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. 61 is Finn Balor.
I dare to say the top 5 female stars on NXT are better than Cody Rhodes. JC Jade, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, that chick that just wrestled Tiffany, but Tiffany beat her, the girl like the business suit girl. Kiana James.
Yeah.
And then Tiffany Stratton. All of them should be higher on the list than Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I just threw the link out there if anybody wants to check out the article at some point. There's the list that PWI put out on the top 500 wrestlers of the year so far for 2023. It'll be in their December issue of the magazine, but because of publishing dates and everything, the list actually came out a couple days ago. So there's the article that has the full 500 if you want to read through all 500.
All right, I guess it's time to talk about smelling what the Rock is cooking, right?
I guess. I mean, you guys wanted to talk about that, so
You are an asshole.
Left side, you are.
An asshole.
I I gotta say, man, from my perspective, it was way too long. It was way, way, way too long. But I also understand the first couple minutes, people wanted to cheer for The Rock. I thought it was decent and it was pretty good. It's absolutely undeniable that the crowd loved every second of it. And you gotta, at least from my perspective, that's what I usually look at the most is how the crowd reacts to what's going on. And you couldn't have got any more hyped up than that crowd was.
Oh, absolutely. I noticed that too. When it all started and The Rock came out from behind the stage, and he played that off so good and so slow, and the crowd was nuts. Like you were saying that they'd pan the crowd, and there'd be people with like their hands over their mouth, like, "Oh my God, it's The Rock." You would see people both arms in the air screaming. Everybody, cell phones everywhere, were all on cameras taking a picture of The Rock, man. But like you're saying, there's lots of people like hands over their mouth, like stunned in the moment. There's The Rock, and he'd come out and point over there to that crowd, and that section of the seats would go even crazier. He did a great job, man. Plus, you see when he almost made it to the ring, he stopped, grabbed that little kid's phone, pushed what buttons he had to on the home screen, and turned it on. Took a selfie for the kid and gave his phone back.
Yeah, man. See, I tend to be way too analytical and critical of things. So I like when I'm watching the match, I'm being all picky about how they do headlocks and all this other kind of crap. But when I look at what the crowd is doing, is when I can just enjoy the fantasy of it all. And when, like Jason was saying, when people have got their mouths covered and they're like, "Oh my god," or their hands are on top of their head, pulling their hair, like, "I can't believe this." Like that's one of the best things is to be able to see the crowd enjoying themselves so much.
I was one of those in the crowd too. I was sitting here with a smile on my face. I was sitting enjoying the moment. I thought it was cool, man. The energy is good to see The Rock. He's looking a little older. Not not that he's not physically fit, but when you're old like me, you know what to look for. And, you know, there's some years and sun on that skin there, but he's getting a little older. But man, I thought the whole thing was entertaining. It was pretty good, and even McAfee's version of the People's Elbow was at least funny. But yeah, man, just the crowd had a great time. I was part of the crowd. You were too. I enjoyed that segment, man. I'm glad they did that.
For me, it was just a little too long, but other than that, I thought it was pretty good. And Rich, you could just say you hated it, and we can move on.
Yeah, but plus, how many times did he have the crowd going, "You're an asshole"?
Yeah,
And then when it was all over, he was like, "No, no, no, now we're gonna switch it up." And this side says you're a, and this side it says an asshole. That was great, man.
yeah,
I didn't say I hated it. I was more indifferent towards it.
right.
I could have took it or leave it. It didn't. It didn't excite me in any way, shape, or form. But oh, it's The Rock. You know what? I really didn't care.
Rich just hates to see other people have a good time, man.
No, I just never got the deal with The Rock. I was just never the biggest Rock fan in the world. Like, oh, everybody says The Rock's the greatest, or Steve. I was never a big fan of Steve Austin or The Rock. So him coming back just meant nothing to me.
I
Oh,
said I didn't watch wrestling when those guys were doing it.
see, that was too. The Rock paid homage to Stone Cold while he was in the ring too.
Yeah,
And then they pulled the Kiss China's ass guy into the ring too.
it'd have been funny. It'd have been asking for more than you can ask for. But it would have been cool if Stone Cold would have came out too.
with a beer truck.
Yeah, right.
No. I was just looking through the list some more, by the way, real quick. Jason's choice for number 10 is at 94. Dominic Mysterio may crack the top 100.
Yeah,
He's a top 100 boy right there. Proud of him.
go. Did you watch NXT, Rich?
No, I didn't get to see NXT.
Oh man, it was a pretty good show. Did you see it, Jason? Probably didn't get a chance to watch it either.
Nah, I didn't. But
They started the show, the first match right away, Dragunov versus Wesley, and it was a pretty good match. I think that they did it a little bit of injustice because they packed it into like a 10-minute match as opposed to like a 30-minute match on a pay-per-view or a main event type of thing. It was still a pretty good match. Tiffany and Becky had a good match, even though Tiffany lost the belt, but we all knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. NXT is another one that's, in my opinion, quickly separating itself from WWE.
Oh, have you seen? You brought up Tiffany and Becky. Have you seen the rumors on who could be the one to challenge Becky and take that belt from her?
No, I haven't had a chance to look at the internet for any of that kind of stuff.
Well, apparently, her match last night was Jade Cargill's last match with AEW.
Right.
And the speculation is that she may be signing with WWE and going to NXT.
That's a problem for the NXT's women division. Like a big problem. They should put her on the main roster.
Well, she's still a little green, so I can see them putting her on NXT for a little bit.
Yeah, very little bit. I mean, she's just chokeslam every girl in the locker room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's much bigger than all the ones that they have on their current women's
Yeah.
roster.
Oh, speaking of, who's the Nia Jax? Is Nia Jax the dude?
No. That's The Rock's cousin. Nia Jax is The Rock's cousin.
Okay, so Nia Jax doesn't have a penis.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, Nia Jax is back, and Rhea Ripley's in trouble.
Yeah. No. Nia Jax is just a big girl. Man. Could you imagine? Cargill goes to NXT, wins the NXT title from Becky Lynch, gets a little bit more seasoning in NXT, shows up right after Elimination Chamber, or shows up as a surprise entrant in the Women's Rumble and wins it and challenges Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania.
Think about this. Jade Cargill versus Thea Hale.
The immovable object versus the irresistible force. Get Thea hopped up on some caffeine, have her do some espressos before the match, and go all kind of hyper crazy.
No, isn't NXT in the same arena every week?
Pretty much, yeah, unless they do a pay-per-view.
What I saw about Jade Cargill coming to WWE, they were talking about what the unknown would be is if she could handle the 3-4 shows a week and all the traveling. So to me, that doesn't sound like NXT.
No, but what she would go in NXT for was to work on her work in ring. She's already done the touring thing with AEW, so she's got a feel for that. She just needs a little bit more in ring work to get that, the little things under and everything. But as far as her character, she's pretty much got her character down. She could use a little
If she
bit
wants
more
some
practice
little
on this.
things under her, she can come around here.
She needs to work a little bit on her mic skills and a little bit on her in-ring work. But as far as the traveling, she's already done that. That's not a big deal. So I can see her doing a couple months in NXT and then like show up at the Rumble and win the Women's Rumble and then challenge Rhea or yeah, I would say Rhea because I don't know if they would put her against Io. I think they got a plan on that side already.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rich. Go ahead, put the little things behind you.
That would definitely make Raw the brand for the big girls. You'd have Rhea, Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, and oh, what's her face, Rodriguez, all on Raw.
Well, where's the girl that used to be champ? One's got the real long hair.
Bianca Belair, the
Yeah,
black chick.
yeah.
Yeah, she's on SmackDown.
She ain't exactly a little girl. She's strong as any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's not on Raw no more, so I couldn't list her.
Well, WWE anyway.
And I think Bianca's taking time off right now anyway, if I remember right. So.
Man, I don't know. I'm sitting here looking in my mind through the NXT's female division, and even a bunch of the girls in the locker room that don't wrestle but are like extras when they do the scenes back there. Jade Cargill would have to be like Andre the Giant and wrestle like 2 or 3 chicks at one time to have any kind of fair match in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
She's just, I mean, I think she's an attractive lady. I could do without the multicolored hair and all that, like that part of her costume. But she's big, strong chick, man. Like, what? I mean, I was joking around about it, but are you gonna put Thea Hale in a match against her, and it not last 3 seconds, and the 3 seconds being I grabbed you, choked you, and you died?
Yeah, I figured you were joking. I didn't about that. That's why I said, yeah, get her hopped up on espresso and throw her out in the ring all hopped up on caffeine.
Now, ain't she the girl? Like she's got like a 6-pack, 8-pack.
Yeah.
Really, like fit, like super
Mm-hmm.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that they should have cast as the She-Hulk, and
does
they
have
wouldn't have had to have used makeup.
Yeah, she's got like white hair or something.
Well, she'll have
Yeah.
white hair, she'll have
Yeah.
blue hair, she'll have gold hair.
Green hair.
She is a beast. Yeah.
Yeah, she curls Thea Hale. Literally. Like when she's in the gym, Thea Hale's 120 pounds. That's like a warm up workout for Jade Cargill. Now, I do agree. Her size and her aura, she was 50-0 and all that kind of stuff. Didn't really give her a chance to sharpen up her skills in the ring because she just go in, slap you around, pin you. So she definitely needs to get better at wrestling, and she's gonna need basically Bianca, Charlotte Flair. She's gonna need the top female wrestlers to make her better.
Yeah, she's going to need to get the hang of the WWE style of doing things. Omos is at 174.
Damn, that's pretty low for Omos. They need to work on his character because he's
That's okay. As
just
tall
a
as he is, he
monster.
can reach up and grab 150 if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I agree with Jason. If I was Triple H, I'd be sitting in Omos's living room right now, working with him, because that dude's a gold mine. If you could sharpen his mic skills and give him a little bit of wrestling talent, he could run through the division like an Undertaker. And like I said before, you wouldn't even have to put a title on him. He doesn't have to get any championships. He could just kick the crap out of everybody anytime he wants.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, man. Like throw him a Royal Rumble win or something. You know what I mean? He's just too big and dominating over as a thing. He needs to work his way up. He needs to be in some matches with some other big motherfuckers.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, a Gunther, uh, but it's got to be a guy who can wrestle. Like you think back to like the Brock Lesnar match. I think him and Brock could have had a better match, but I don't think that their styles are going to make Omos more entertaining. But you throw him in there with a Drew McIntyre and let Drew McIntyre do some like wrestling with him, and I think he could be a real good show.
Yeah, Omos has got to learn to wrestle though. He's got the size and the strength and the overpowering thing to it, but he's still stuck in that like slow motion lumbering giant. He needs to get a little fire in his feet, man. Like him with some badass like finishing move, man. You know what I mean? Like a classic good finishing move where he picks you up, spins you, slams you, or something. I mean, he could just be a beast.
Put him and the big Indian dude from AEW in a ring together.
Yeah, but I mean, think about that. Like if Omos could do a good tie up and throw you against the ropes and hit you with a clothesline or put you in a sleeper hold, uh, he could finish it with an old school Hulk Hogan leg drop type of deal, or some kind of crazy like slingshot suplex or something. It wouldn't take a whole lot. All he's got to do is get a little bit of technical skill to him, and he'd be all right.
What? I can never remember that dude's name. What is that big dude over in AEW? That big Indian guy.
That's choke slam Apu. I don't know, because the only thing he ever does is choke slam people and then say thank you, come again.
uh, Put him and Omos in a tag team together. Nobody would ever win. Nobody else would ever win the tag team belts until they retire.
Speaking of, where's Indashir been?
I have no idea, man. I've been wondering. I was wondering, thinking about that myself the other day. I was like, because they were on Cultaholic, they were talking about gender. I was like, where the hell's Indashir, man?
If I was Triple H, as soon as I left Omos's house, I'm going to Indashir's house and saying, look, you guys are never going to be tag team champions. Just it's never going to happen. But anytime you want to beat the crap out of the tag team champions, anytime you want to highlight and main event a pay per view, you got it. Just come out there, do the flips that you do, and rip people's arms off, and we'll have a great career together. I don't. Maybe I don't know. I guess every wrestler gets into it to get the title money. But if I was running some of these shows, there'd be a whole bunch of guys there that would get paid well enough that they wouldn't care about wearing a title because anytime they want, they could just go pull your head off.
Well, they're talking about splitting the titles up again, and there is a tag team that they could have Indashir feud with that WWE apparently has re-signed, and just nobody knew about it until recently. Authors of Pain are back in WWE. But those are another two big guys. Put them against Indashir, and you have one hell of a old school Haas tag team battle right there.
Who are these people you're talking about?
You don't know who Authors of Pain are?
No, not by that name.
Well, that's the only name that they've used.
I mean, they don't have individual names like Bob and
I
Kevin.
I can't remember what their names are off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know him by that name.
They used to be managed by Paul Ellering.
I would say me and the Road Warriors.
No, these guys were like the new Road Warriors.
Shit, basically, smack yourself.
That's what they
Genuine
were That's what
imitation.
they were promoting them to be, like the next coming of the Road Warriors.
They should slap themselves too. Would you say, Jason, genuine and imitation?
Yeah, genuine imitation.
Akam and Rezar is what their names were.
Yeah, I don't know those guys.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, hold on, I'm working on it. I'll show you a picture here in a second. Picture of them with Paul Ellering back from their NXT days when they were the NXT tag. Was that the NXT? Yeah, it's the NXT tag titles.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
They're former Raw tag team champions too.
Oh yeah, I've only been watching this stuff for like 2 years
Yeah, I
now.
know. But there are a couple of big boys too, just like Indus
They look like tactical tars.
The thing about Indus, I don't know these guys, but Indus are big dudes that are athletic and wrestle well together. Like they're fluent tag team, and they're good technical.
Yeah, these guys were too, and when they won the NXT tag titles, they won them off of FTR. Back when FTR was the Revival and NXT, obviously.
Wrestlers, plus they can pull your arms off.
Uh-huh. And speaking of NXT tag teams, the tag team from Schism, they have left. Their contracts were up. So the promo that Gacy and Eva did on Tuesday night was basically because the other two have left. They're gone. They're not with the promotion anymore.
Well, they were only on a short-term contract anyway, because like last year they were in dispute on whether they were going to leave. That's why I got a whole bunch of the internet channels that I was watching about wrestling. Like, yeah, they're definitely out. They said they screw these people. Shawn Michaels sucks, and then they stayed for another year. I was like, well, I
Yeah.
can't.
And they had asked for their releases earlier in the year. But, I mean, I can see their point. Well, back when they were the grizzled young veterans, they were a really good tag team. There's no reason why those two guys should not have had a run with the NXT tag titles, to be perfectly honest with you. They were former NXT UK tag champions. But for some reason, instead of putting them at the top of the tag division, they threw them in Schism and did pretty much nothing with them from that point. Unless they just needed a random tag team to throw into something.
You were kind of talking. It's quite aggravating watching Finn Balor carry 2 titles around. Like the whole Raw and SmackDown, to just get one belt, please, and be done with that.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see them do that, merge those two championships, and come out with a single belt, and they come out with another tag team division for another tag team belt for the other show. Or
And
just have the tag titles where they're doing it like they're doing it right now, where the tag champs go back and forth between the two brands.
Right, yeah. And please, somebody somewhere, a kid in the stadium, uh, somebody in Walmart who's got suspenders on, Damian Priest, take somebody's belt, or at least try. Like, stop carrying that stupid briefcase around already.
Well, he can't. He's got to carry that briefcase until he cashes it in.
He needs to getting it done.
Hell, man, there have been people that haven't cashed it in until WrestleMania. I think the longest was that they cashed it in right before the next Money in the Bank match, which was the last possible moment to be able to cash it in. Because you have until the following year's Money in the Bank match. If you don't cash it in before then, you lose it.
Can you cash in your money in the bank for somebody else's money in the bank?
I don't think so.
Like for instance, if Jason won this year's Money in the Bank and he's standing there with the briefcase, could Damien come in and bang him in the head and take it?
No, because once it gets to the next Money in the Bank match, your contract is null and void at that point. So, like, say
You
the
can't have two Money in the
2022,
Bank guys at once.
say the 22 winner had never cashed in his briefcase, and Damian Priest wins 2023 Money in the Bank. The guy from 2022 can't cash it in on Damian Priest at that point because at that point his briefcase is null and void. The contract. He just basically held that for a year and was an idiot and never cashed it in. Because you have 1 year from the time you won it to cash it in, which means the next Money in the Bank match.
How about this? Which one of or are both of the Usos going to join the Judgment Day?
I don't know where they're going with that, to be perfectly honest with you. It's like now that Jay's there on Raw, they just threw aside the whole JD McDonough thing. I have no idea where they're going with this.
JD McDonough was on the TV show, one of the two, because him and Dominic Mysterio jumped somebody.
Yeah, but if you watch Monday, Finn was all up in getting Jay to join. It was like,
well, I don't know if you watched SmackDown or not, but Finn was.
I haven't seen SmackDown.
Well, spoiler alert. Finn tries to get Jimmy to join as well.
Jimmy's trying to get back in with the bloodline.
Well, the drama part was the very end of the conversation. And of course, Paul Heyman's standing in the background, like snooping. But Finn says, look, there's no leaders in the Judgment Day. We are all grown. We all do what we want.
I don't know. I would say Rita's the leader.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, they all acknowledge that. But then he said there's no Roman in the Judgment Day. And then Jimmy was like, oh, really?
I'm not sure what they're doing here. This is going to be an interesting one to see where they go with it. I'll tell you that much. I'm not prepared to, at this point, to make predictions on that whole thing. Not yet, anyway. I mean, especially with them just starting the whole thing. They're trying to get the Usos.
What about this one? Samoa Joe and MJF. Does Samoa Joe take his title?
He's perfectly capable of doing it. Do I think they're going to do that? Tony Khan's done some weird things, so I wouldn't be at least bit surprised if he did.
I don't think it's completely out of place. Samoa Joe is a lot more popular than I'm aware of. And he's a super badass. He's always been. So for him to have a real good knockdown, drag out match with MJF and win, I don't think would be a violation. Like, I don't think the crowd would be pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Because then you could also always set it up for the very next main event thing. MJF
Right.
comes back to get the title, if they want
Yeah.
to take it that way.
Yeah, I mean, they just have MJF lose to Joe on Wednesday, and they could say it's because of his neck, and he takes a couple weeks off, comes back at the pay-per-view beginning of October, and wins the title back from Joe.
Yeah,
Or Full Gear, or he takes off until Full Gear, and he comes back at Full Gear and takes the belt off of Joe.
right, yeah.
Now, Claudio versus Kingston, who wins both? Who walks away with both belts in that match?
I like Eddie Kingston. Sort of. I mean, I'm not like a fan of Eddie Kingston, but I don't mind when he's wrestling or doing a promo. I can't really see. I can't really see him being more popular than Claudio.
I don't know about that one. The crowd goes crazy for Kingston for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to think. The Blackpool Combat Club thing's kind of Claudio's also riding that. My understanding is it's title for title, right?
Yeah, both belts are on the line. Yeah.
One of the guys going to walk away with 2 titles.
Yep.
Dumb move, first of all.
Well, two different promotions. One's New Japan and one's AEW/Ring of Honor.
What do you think? Who do you think's going to win?
I want Claudio to win, but I think it's a 50-50 at this point.
We also have to take into consideration there's like 0 chance it's going to be a clean match.
No, these two are going to brawl all over the damn outside of the ring and whatnot. It could end up being a double count out.
Or some
I
type
would
of
be the least bit surprised. Yeah, double disqualification, double count out, some screwy ending. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. I was just found it interesting that they announced that as a match for Wednesday night show and not the damn pay-per-view, with one of the titles being an AEW title, with AEW basically owning Ring of Honor now, and the other one being a New Japan title.
Free samples, man. Free samples.
Screwy finish ending on Wednesday. Rematch at the pay-per-view, no DQ. Has to be a winner at the pay-per-view.
Eddie Kingston.
No, I'm just asking if you think that could be a possibility as the match. What happens?
Well, yeah, it's a possibility. And I'm thinking if that is the possibility in that scenario, Eddie Kingston wins.
But Eddie will be by himself. Who comes out to help Eddie if the Blackpool Combat Club get involved? Does Eddie have any friends left?
My enemy of my enemy is my friend. You got to remember, the Blackpool Combat Club has punched everybody in the nose in all of these locker rooms and beat up their girlfriends and went to their grandma's house and stepped on their flowers. So there's no shortage of people who would like to come stab Claudio in the head.
Yeah, but if you look at the way they're booking the Combat Club, it looks like they're turning them face again.
I don't really think they have much of a choice. I think the crowd decided that. It's one of these other phenomenons. John Moxley gives the crowd the finger, throws water bottles at him, and is bleeding out of his head every day. And the people would say, "Give me 5 more of those."
Well,
Like he's
if you look at the storyline with Mox and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, they're turning them two face. There's no doubt about it because they got the two of them basically looking like they're going to be feuding with Ricky Starks and Big Bill.
Danielson's a perfect example. He spent a year as the nicest, sweetest, most loving, gentle man in the world who was going to take the title from that mean old monster MJF. 2 seconds after he lost the match to MJF, he was like, "Screw you, crowd! Let's go stab people with forks." And the crowd was like, "Hell yeah!"
So it's like Mox and Danielson are turning face, and they're just dragging Claudio and Yuta behind them, kicking and screaming. It's like, damn it, we're turning face whether you two like it or not.
They got to do something with Wheeler. He doesn't fit the bill for the Blackpool Combat Club. He just doesn't fit in.
Oh, he's supposed to be their trainee.
Yeah, but they need he either needs to grow up or something needs to change. Because the whole deal with him is kind of getting old.
The reason why they lost Blood and Guts was because of Wheeler. Knox threw in a towel because the Elite was going to kill him.
All right, NXT, the Von Wagner's skull crush moment.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show the actual impact,
No.
but they did show camera shots. Like I'm talking about on the television show Tuesday. They showed television shots of Von Wagner's head, and he was bleeding pretty decent across his head. Like so, Braun smacked him good with those steps.
Yeah, wasn't there like a statement that they made? If I remember right from what I heard, I think they said it on Cultaholic where they had said that he had a minor skull fracture or something.
Yeah, during that segment, they put up like I'd say maybe 10 different tweets or Facebooks or social media posts. And a bunch of them were from NXT and WWE official talking about it, like his health, and we're thinking about him and all that kind of stuff. And we're outraged that Braun Breaker, they were still playing it up, but they were also saying, "Hey, this guy's actually hurt. He's going to be out for a little while."
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's totally believable that one of those slips through some guy's hands and smacks you in the back of the head. Yeah, you're going to be out for a while. We talked about that last week. I mean, it didn't look good when it happened.
I'm still waiting for the day that they do the superplex outside the ring, like off the top rope, outside the ring.
It's been done.
Well, if it's been done once, I'm surprised they don't do it all the time.
It's been done a few times. They do shit like that over in Japan all the time. Those people over there are fucking crazy.
Suplex off the top rope down to
the floor,
the outside of the ring.
Yeah, they've done that quite a few times over in Japan. Usually, it's like one of the big no DQ matches that they do over there, where anything goes. I think they do that in the first Omega and Osprey match. I thought they did one in that match through a table on the outside.
Yeah, I was gonna say through a table.
Yeah.
Now that takes away a few feet, and it cushions the blow. But like suplex all the way to the floor, all the way to the mat. Damn. I think I've seen it maybe once too. Can't remember who did it, but Damn, you're talking about like crippling people and shit doing that, paralyzing them.
Even through the table, those Japanese tables, they sit lower than the ring does. So even then, you're still falling farther than you would if you were doing it into the ring.
That's pretty racist, Rich. Did you just see Japanese people's tables don't have legs on them?
No, that's not what I said. I said
That sounded like that's what you said.
No, I said the table is shorter than what the height of the ring is. So you're still falling farther than you would if you were falling into the ring.
He's being heightist now because Asian people
Yes,
are apparently
they have short little tables, damn it. No, it's just the Japanese ring sits high.
Short tables are tables too, Rich. Short tables are tables too. They deserve to be treated just the same as your American long-legged tables.
No, it's not that the table is shorter. The table's not shorter than the folding tables here. The ring is higher over in Japan, is what I'm saying.
You people in your chairs.
If you look at the steps over in Japan compared to the steps here when they're going to the ring, there's more steps on the steps over there. The ring sits higher. So the table.
Did you just say they can't see good either?
That's not what I said. I didn't say anything about vision.
You
said the steps got to be extra wide like their eyes? That's terrible.
That's what I heard.
Uh-huh.
Don't forget to buy your blackout coffee.
Welcome to Racism Unloaded.
Says the guy who was...
Phobia Unloaded.
It says the guy who was ranting about how the white quarterback on Ohio State sucks a couple weeks ago.
White boy.
You can't be racist with white people.
Can't win with a white boy. No, I ain't racist. I can say anything I want about a white. I'm white, so I ain't racist. Can't win with a white boy. I said then, I say it today, say it tomorrow. Can't win with a white boy.
Doesn't seem to be stopping Notre Dame.
Or Tom Brady.
I didn't say cheating.
That's very good point.
Oh, good. Yeah. In the case of Tom Brady, definitely. But man, referees today in that Notre Dame game, I don't know what the freaking game they were watching. They were throwing flags and then picking them up, saying that there was no flag on Central Michigan. It was crazy.
Hell, Alabama barely won. I mean, barely. To Central Florida.
Kansas State lost to Mizzou.
Alabama didn't get a touchdown until like the last 4 seconds of the game to make it 17-3. But I mean, that was like a goal line stand, 4th down, got to get it in with like 0 seconds left on the clock.
Florida State had a scare too.
Florida held them to a 3-0 lead, and then ended up for the end of the game 10-3 against Alabama.
Florida State only won by 2.
This was Central Florida, the no-name guys, the green team. Held Alabama to nothing.
Who the hell was... I can't remember who Florida State was playing, but they only won by 2.
That was Florida State and... was it one of the Carolina teams?
I can't remember who it was.
Well, that was Georgia. Georgia had their hands full with South
Georgia
Carolina.
had South Carolina, yeah.
It was Florida, Seminoles, and it was Boston College.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was BC.
That was a close game all the way down to the end, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was what, 31-29, I think was the final?
Buckeyes game today was pretty close.
Central Michigan kept it close with Notre Dame until the second half, and then that was the end of it.
Yeah.
It was the first game this season where Notre Dame wasn't winning by 10 at the half.
We kept it close till the second quarter, and then we decided we were warmed up.
That's basically what happened in the Notre Dame game.
So next week is the game, High State, Notre Dame, next Saturday.
Yep. I don't think Gary's going to be able to be there next week because he's going to be in Wichita for the TriggerCon.
What time is that? That's a prime time game, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think
7.
7, 8 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. It's going to be on. It's on Peacock at 7. So kickoff's probably going to be what, quarter after.
Quarter after what, 8? Like, is there a long
7.
break?
Quarter after 7, probably my guess. So, quarter after 7:30, somewhere around there would be when kickoff is.
Yeah, next week, man. Good luck to you. Be a good one.
Yeah, because the broadcast starts at 7, so I figure quarter after 7:30 be when the kickoff actually would be.
Oh yeah, they won't go a half hour. All right, you're right. About
With being
10,
prime time,
15
they may.
after. About 10, 15 after. They get
Well, it's
at
a
it, man.
prime
See, they got the
with
new
it
thing
being.
this year, man. The games are all shortened. They want as little time as possible so they can get commercials in. Like, so it probably won't take any longer than
Well, they're
a
going
few
to go
minutes
through all
more
the
than a regular
scores and stuff
game. Yeah.
first. So with it being a primetime game, that's why I said 7:30. I know NFL when they do the primetime games, it's at the bottom of the hour when kickoff is.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many big pre-game stuff lately this year. I tell you what though, man, the Dr. Pepper commercials are looking killer, man. I love Fansville. Those Dr. Pepper commercials every
They
season.
didn't have any of those during the Notre Dame game today.
Oh
It was
man, it looks great. Like today they had one, like, all the different characters,
mm-hmm.
the families and the people and stuff from Fansville. Like they're watching the game, they all go nuts. Like mom's like, I made all this for nothing, takes her arm and like clears off the whole counter of snack trays, smashes them. Dude goes out back, he's got a bonfire, always the trophies and championships and sweaters and everything, and he lights it on fire, and everybody's like, there goes the fucking season, and smashing shit, going crazy. And then the sheriff's Bosworth, and he's like, guys, relax, it was only the first play of the season. And everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah. And they sit back down.
Oh man! Speaking of first play of the season, did you see what happened on Monday night?
Oh, with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, first drive of the season for the Jets, and he tears his Achilles. He's out for the season.
Bye bye, baby, bye bye.
The Jets can't. The Jets
The
are
Jets are
stupid.
the Jets, man. Whatever. Go retire, dude. Like, keep doing insurance commercials. Just go away. Be lucky it happened like that. You want to talk a bunch of shit? Look what happened to Brett Favre. Do you want your last game you laying on the ground, got sacked 3 times in a row, and 6 months later your legs are still fucking purple? Don't go out like that all hurt and shit. You got it easy on your ankles? Hell, you already like stood up on them and shit. Just go with that, man. Just drift away before you get beat up really bad, man.
That's always funny. They're making everybody's predicting. The Jets could be a Super Bowl contender. First drive of the season, he's done for the season.
You just go back, smoke pot the rest of the year, retire. If I could give him like $1 million for playing 12 minutes, what the fuck? So
It's just messed up.
it's too bad for the Jets. There's some high state players on that team, good ones. Garrett Wilson, the receiver and shit. But yeah, like they's hoping that Aaron Rodgers would teach the new kids something. You know what I mean? Well, not now. At least it ain't too bad. I tore my Achilles before. Burns like a bitch. Oh God, it burns like fire.
You talk about the first game. It's only been, what, one game of the season, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he made it through like the first few minutes.
yeah. He did a couple. He played a couple of plays, and that was it towards Achilles.
A whole bunch of guys got laid out for the first day of the game, right? Because I know that the Ravens lost, what, two or three of their good big guys for the whole season.
But a lot of people nowadays are bitching about the fields. Like Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State needs a different field because they got this one. Our players keep
Yeah,
getting hurt.
that's sport. Yeah, we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. That's sports turf, which is a combination of like that fake rubber grass and real grass, and it's you can't get no traction on that shit.
The same turf we're using at Ohio State, our players getting hurt. It's the same ones the NFL's using and looking at. And it, it's a sport, and people get hurt on natural grass. People get hurt on AstroTurf. People get hurt on this new. It's hard to tell, but it's just already starting to be clearer that more people are getting hurt off of this new kind, this one turf that they got. You know what I mean?
The reason why they got rid of AstroTurf is
and the thing is,
they,
it ain't just people getting hurt on it. If you look at the teams and the situation, it's your superstars. It's the guys that were making that high speed cut, turn, move, or whatever. You know what I mean? And they're tearing their legs and ankles up. They need a new field.
They got rid of AstroTurf.
Yeah, they need to get rid of this field. They need to change it. They need to do something. Go back to grass. I don't care. Mm-hmm. They cry. Saves money, water, whatever. This new turf just ain't working when it's showing that people are getting hurt more and more. So let's get rid of that turf. But like I'm thinking, like Ohio State kind of had like natural grass, and it sucks because you can't grow it in the fall. Like, you know what I mean? And can't make it look pretty. It sucks. And people bitched about that. Then they went to AstroTurf, and all they liked it. We had that pellet turf or whatever here for a while. Everybody loved it. And then the last couple of years here, they changed to this new turf, and everybody fucking hates it. Well, we spent a lot of fucking money on that. I mean, millions. Like, I think we need a new turf, and I think the turf company needs to, like, put a new turf in there for free because the turf you sold us ain't no fucking good.
Yeah, the way Heinz Field or whatever the hell the name of the place is now, it's always going to be Heinz Field. Fuck them. But the reason they can grow the grass there year round because the field itself is heated. Yeah, they were given the option. They tried getting them to switch to that new turf, and they told the NFL to shove it. They were keeping the grass because they paid how much to have that heating system installed under the stadium when they were building it. They weren't getting rid of it. And not only can they heat the turf, they can also cool it, which is why they were able, even when they had like 50-degree weather, they were able to do the Stadium Series game with the NHL there because the field itself is cold, so the ice wasn't melting from the rink from being 50 degrees.
Well, they need to just do something like not just for the Buckeyes, but all the teams.
Yeah.
That new turf, whatever model number it is or whatever that company came out with like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think they called.
They knew something was wrong last year, and now they're already knowing there's stuff wrong this year. So they need to like investigate it, research it, do something. Mm-hmm. But it needs to change. It's almost like too good. It's almost like got too much traction, or something needs to change, like the shoe, the cleat part of the shoe or something has to be changed to match that field better, or something.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Maybe both. Maybe both. Yeah.
Be interesting to see the statistics between the NFL and college football from last week. How many people were injured were playing on natural grass or were playing on that new sports turf stuff?
Yeah, well, I've heard them talk about it since, in even preseason here in Fort. Yeah, the numbers are up. Like that sports turf stuff, like across the board, there's like a higher number of players per team injured with that on that field. Like, sometimes you play, it's not your home field, but you play there. But on that turf, yeah, the numbers are higher. They're higher.
I guess we'll have to leave. One more. I'll let you get one more point in. Good.
Yeah, the thing is, it just needs more investigation looked in because it's, players get hurt all the times, but it's the particular type of injuries. and it's the season-ending injuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and their leg injuries.
Yeah, it's the sticking of the cleats. It's almost like they got good traction. They say they can run fast on it. Run faster in practice. They're like they get to the field and they're like lightning fast. They love it, but at the same time, it's got too much traction. When they get tackled or try to make a move, their cleats are almost like nailed into the floor, and it tears their joints, ligaments, muscles, joints, just rips you up.
Yeah, well, we'll let that be the final word for tonight, because those of you who don't know, Hillbilly Up is going to be having his 1,000 subscriber giveaway tonight. And there's
Hillbilly.
going to be lots of stuff given away over there on Hillbilly's channel. So be sure to head over there when we're done here. And also be sure to check out Blackout Coffee, the link down below. Lots of good beverages to get your morning started, or just during the course of the day as well. And use code RICHW20 and you get 20% off your first order. So, Jason, even though you just had the last word on the other, got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Go Bucks.
We'll see.
OH.
I'll give it to you, IO.
Kingpin, you're going to be run out of Maryland for that one.
No, I mean, I'm still going to root for Notre Dame next weekend, but I'll give Jason his IO.
Krabby gave him the IO too.
There you go. See? We good.
2 Marylanders giving Jason the IO.
Well, the list came out the other day, and what sports team do you think has the largest fan base?
I don't know. College, pro, what?
Well, I guess maybe this would be college, I guess.
Well, since you asked the question, I'm going to go on a limb and say Ohio State.
Yes, sir. With this new report, I don't know who they asked because they didn't ask me, but Ohio State, 11 million fans, I guess. You know who's number 2?
Notre Dame?
Notre Dame with like 7,500. And then it's like Alabama or something with like 7,200.
Yeah, but 700,000.
No, 7 million. Yeah, 7 million. I meant, yeah.
Oh,
7.5 million and
I'm about to say 700, man.
There's more than 7,000 people at each game.
Yeah,
the first number's always important. First number's always important. I got 11, and then second place is 7,500, and then it goes down.
I'm about to say there are more seats in Notre Dame Stadium than that.
But they talked about it. A lot of it has to do with the there's got to be part of it, like other states and like places like Notre Dame's a little different. Like they pull from everywhere, but like in Ohio, the Buckeyes is all there is. There's not another college team to compete with the fans or the merchandise or any, you know what I mean? That's it. That's nothing. It's it. It's like, and nobody gives a fuck about the Browns or the Bengals. Like, and Columbus is a big fucking city, like 2 million people in Columbus, and then right outside of like all that is like another couple million. So like that's bigger than places like Alabama and South Bend or wherever Notre Dame is. It's just more people. It's just a bigger city. You know what I mean? With no competition. So it just makes it the bigger deal around here than, maybe some other state like Florida or something where you got, a handful of good teams to pick from and stuff. Around here, we're homegrown. You know what I mean? You're born a Buckeye, you die a Buckeye.
All right. Kingpin, what about you? Anything you want to add?
No, thanks for joining, everybody. See you next time.
Oh. All right. Again, go over, check out Hillbilly's show. going to be doing his giveaway. I think the entry time to enter is expired, so you can't go and enter, but you can go over and watch to see if you haven't entered to see who wins what, I guess. And I think Bubba Triceratops, where I can't remember what his damn channel name is, but he's got a giveaway he's doing on Hillbilly Show tonight as well. So, and there's going to be other people that Hillbilly said are going to be giving stuff away during the show. So, you might just win something being in the audience. So, go over there and check out Hillbilly's channel if you haven't already. He's a funny guy. So, and he's funny in a good way. He's not funny in a bad way, you know. He's not the funny that you want to keep your kids away from him. That makes sense. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So we will catch y'all tomorrow night over Unloaded Media Channel for This Week Unloaded. And until then, here's another guy that says something really silly.
Oh, yeah. You guys are probably really scared right now, and I understand that completely. But I get the better of the deal, and even though it's 3 versus 2, you guys are outnumbered because we're better than you guys. Yeah, we are. We're legends in our own mind compared to you guys. Even though you guys got the egos, we have got the wrestling skill. And this guy right here,